My name's Josh.
My name's Amber, and this is Boone. We had a normal pregnancy, a normal delivery. We went home, did normal newborn things. When he was 4 days old, we got a call from the doctor that he had flagged positive on the newborn screening for SMA, which is spinal muscular atrophy. The doctor kind of briefly described what SMA was, but at that point, I think I just started panicking, so nothing really sunk in. I called Josh, kind of tried to tell him best I could through the tears. In that moment, I tried to ask questions. The doctor kind of briefly explained what it was, but at the time, it almost felt like it was going in one ear, out the other. I mean, I'm holding him, looking down at him as I'm having this conversation with the doctor, and it's scary and unknown and unsure and just don't know what to think. So the doctor told us we needed to go to the hospital in Baton Rouge to do further testing and confirmation of if it was SMA. So we packed up and Josh, Boone, and I drove to the hospital in Baton Rouge. We both Googled separately what SMA was, and we didn't tell each other we Googled it. We didn't talk about it. And if you Google SMA, it says rare disease, no cure, and infant death. I really just remember praying, like, God, please don't take my baby. And that was the hardest car ride I've ever had for 2.5 hours. We both pretty much cried the whole way there. We get to the hospital. They say they're going to do some further testing. They kind of explain what that'll look like. So the doctors kind of explain what SMA is. They explain that there's different types. Different types kind of show symptoms at different points in the kid's life. So type 1 is what Boone has. Symptoms would start showing between birth and 6 months old. So we meet the neurologist. She comes in, kind of does her examination, and she can't confirm it, but she says she sees signs and symptoms. And then after talking to the neurologist who said she saw signs and symptoms, we realized how slim of a chance that would be. They said, but if he has SMA, there are treatment options. They told us about Zolgensma, which was a one-time gene replacement therapy. They also told us that it would cost $2.1 million.
I was already planning bank robberies at this point, and so when we heard $2.1 million, like, I knew he was going to get the treatment. We just weren't really sure how he was going to get it.
So at that point, it was up to the insurance company. So the hospital had a social worker who kind of was our contact. They provided all the information to the insurance company, let them know that it is time sensitive.
Fortunately for us, whenever they sent us to Baton Rouge, they specifically sent us there because they even told us, like, if you're going to have SMA, this is the hospital you want to be at. And so the caseworker, the social worker, the caseworker, whatever they were, they've already had the experience of going back and forth with insurances. And so she told us, like, there's a good chance that it might not get approved immediately. If there's 28, they got approved for 27 of them immediately, and the other one
had to appeal.
They had appeal, but they eventually got that too. So that kind of gave some hope, knowing that he was going to get approved. And also with the school board insurance, we knew that historically it's been pretty good about providing care where it says it's going to provide care.
All of this was still taking place when he was 4 to 5 days old. We got the phone call that he did test positive for SMA and he was type 1. So it was time sensitive for him to get Zolgensma. SMA is a progressive disease, and the Zolgensma pretty much stops it in its tracks. So the sooner you get it, the better. So we wanted to make sure he got it as soon as possible. Because there's no cure, this is one of the few options of treatment. It is fairly new, so I think the oldest kid that's ever gotten it's only 10 years old. So there's still some uncertainties as far as what Boone's future could look like, but we knew we wanted to get it as soon as possible to stop the damage and the progression of SMA So Boone's physical therapist uses a type of newer therapy called dynamic movement intervention, DMI. Boone's been really showing progress with it. We did some research on further therapies and we found something called intensive therapies. So we have an opportunity to bring Boone to a pediatric therapy center in Nashville. It's called Climb. They specialize in DMI. They've been working with kids with SMA and other neuromuscular disorders, diseases for a very long time, so they're very experienced. It is very expensive. It's not covered by insurance, but the reason we want to go to Climb as opposed to a few of the other options is they are experienced with SMA. They've been doing it for a very long time, and they're very experienced in DMI. So with this therapy, it would be 3 weeks long, and he would do 3 hours a day. 1 hour of DMI, 1 hour of regular physical therapy, and 1 hour of occupational therapy.
The benefit about this place is because they've already dealt with so many kids who have these type of diseases, they specialize in it. So they're really good at knowing what he's going to need to help him improve. The downside of that is the cost. So for us to bring the full family or a family of 6, it's also in Nashville, so it's a touristy city. Once you factor all those things in, we're looking at Airbnb, we're looking at the cost of the treatment itself, which is currently not covered by our insurance. We're looking to raise around $17,000. Right now we are right around $10,000, so we took a good chunk out of it, and people have already stepped in. We know it's not anyone else's responsibility to care for Boone, but we felt a lot of care from friends, family, strangers. So we're confident that God's already worked so many other things out. So for us to stress over the money, we just know that it's all gonna work out, and we think that at this time we're at the point where we're starting to see more people kind of rally around us and help us get Boone there.
We're so thankful for the support that we've already received. We can't express how grateful we are for that. And if you would like to be a part of helping Boone get to Climb, you can click the link attached to this video.